Hey all, Glenn Kirschner here. Please enjoy this video on the Political Voices Network.
So let's talk about the pardon list. This is reporting, blanket precautionary pardons are being considered for some of Trump's political foes. I am for this. I'm interested what your take is. I mean, when you have someone that, oh God, could be FBI director who has specifically named these people, as has Donald Trump, right? I mean, he has literally said Adam Schiff's a sleazebag and a traitor, should be prosecuted for the damage he's done to our country. Trump reposted a photo of Anthony Fauci along with Biden, Harris, and Pelosi all wearing orange jumpsuits that read how to actually fix the system. Liz Cheney, he said she should go to jail along with the rest of the unselect committee. Yeah. So, interestingly, our friend Adam Schiff, who you just did Sexy Liberal with, said, I would urge the president not to do that. I think it would seem defensive and unnecessary. I have to say I disagree with him, given, Trump's track record and the lunatics that he's going to appoint. I guess part of the problem is that's admitting guilt, I guess, if you take a pardon. And I understand people going, what the F? Mm-hmm. I didn't do anything. Right?
Yeah, there's so much to unravel here, Stephan. First of all, full disclosure, as a former career prosecutor, I'm kind of allergic to pardons because I think people should be held accountable for the crimes they actually committed. Mm-hmm. I think you have victims of those crimes. You have investigators and prosecutors and grand juries and trial juries and judges, the court system, all of which tries to dispense justice and hold folk accountable. And pardons just wipe all that away, right? So I have mixed feelings about the Hunter Biden pardon, because I think he was unfairly singled out for harsher treatment because of his last name. So that kind of feeds into one of the most traditional and acceptable reasons for a pardon, to deliver mercy and to right a wrong. Not that he didn't commit the crimes. He pleaded guilty to the tax crimes, and a jury convicted him of the relatively minor firearms crimes.
Literally no one goes to prison
But he was treated unfairly. He was treated more severely than he would have been if his last name wasn't Biden. And I don't like to go to the whataboutism, but I think I have to, because Donald Trump, for gosh sakes, pardoned his friends, his criminal associates, people who could have provided incriminating information against him, like Roger Stone. He pardoned him, and he pardoned his son-in-law's father and made him ambassador to France. I mean, there is no parity between Joe Biden pardoning his son for being treated unduly harshly, and when the Republicans have signaled, we're going to keep hounding Hunter Biden unfairly until the day he dies. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to provide some protection for somebody like that?
Yeah. We're not in any, as you know, Glenn, we've talked about a million times, we're not in any normal time here. You know, I was with Jim Clyburn. He said, yes, he's for the pardons. He said, Jack Smith's name's on my list, Liz Cheney. I think they should all be preemptively pardoned, because I think there are people who Trump may bring into government who will go after these people in a serious way, and there is no need to subject them to that. I mean, it's just, I know what you're saying. We're just not in normal times, you know. I was surprised that I know Adam Schiff and Gavin Newsom were expressed, concern about the Hunter Biden pardon. And I just vociferously disagree. It's good we have all these disagreements after we did Sexy Liberal LA. Yeah. Also didn't agree with them on Joe Biden getting out. But, isn't it interesting, too, all this, post-election aftermath, Glenn? It's like, who the hell knows anymore? Like, everybody was right and everybody was wrong, I guess. I mean, the people that blame Biden for not getting out soon enough because he had a, 40% approval rating, was 80 years old, blah, blah, blah. There's people that, say he got out too late. I mean, it's just coulda, shoulda. I mean, I think who you can't blame is Kamala Harris. She did an amazing job in 100 days. So, but,
Right. But I think we have to do an autopsy or an after action report anytime we haven't succeeded, because we want to learn from those mistakes on a far smaller scale. When I was chief of homicide at the DC U.S. Attorney's Office, after all of our homicide trials, win, lose, or draw, we would sit down and do a little autopsy and say, okay, what did we do well? What could we have improved on? How can we learn from this experience? We have to do that. We have to adjust. We have to learn. And you know what? I'm already looking forward to the midterms. Are we exhausted? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Are we going to take some time to sort of re-energize over the holidays? Yes. But I'm already looking forward to the midterms.
Well, no, exactly. And that's the other thing. None of us, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what would have happened if Joe Biden would have stayed in. People were right that I think Lawrence O'Donnell was right. It was too late to get out because that was not fair to Kamala Harris. But it is what it is now, coulda, shoulda, woulda. So, speaking of rewriting history, former Trump campaign lawyer Ken Chesebro, who pled guilty to a conspiracy charge in Georgia election meddling case, is trying to invalidate the plea. Can you do that, Glenn?
Yeah, good question. You can withdraw. You can file a motion with a judge to withdraw your guilty plea. And the time that you are most likely to succeed is the time between the day you pleaded guilty but before you've been sentenced. After you've been sentenced, it's not impossible, but it's extraordinarily difficult to have your guilty plea revoked and thrown out by the judge. So listen, this is a nakedly political play, it looks like, by Chesebro. And I don't think he will be successful because there is an interest in finality. When you accept responsibility for your crimes and you take an oath, you swear an oath in court the day you plead guilty, and you swear that you are guilty and you're pleading guilty because you're guilty and for no other reason, courts rarely will undo that for reasons down the road if circumstances have changed.
That's the Emily Latella rule. You can't just say, never mind. It's an old joke. Okay, and last one. Let's end on sliver of hope news. Trump isn't entirely out of the woods with January 6 court cases, according to legal experts. While criminal cases against him are being shut down, civil cases can go forward. Your friend Norm Eisen, one of the people who wrote this, saying that Trump is the defendant in several civil cases alleging wrongdoing for trying to deprive citizens of their votes and for the Capitol riot. Obviously, your friend Eric Swalwell and some, is it Harry Dunn, another Capitol police officer, I believe. Those cases could be the only real way of establishing an authoritative record of the events on and around January 6th, they write. What's your take on that?
Yeah, those civil suits will go forward. I'm sure Donald Trump will try to use the DOJ to intervene and shut them down. I don't think he'll be successful. So whereas the criminal cases, at a minimum, will be on hold, because Jack Smith, remember, asked Judge Chutkan to dismiss the criminal cases without prejudice, meaning they can be rebrought in the future. I'm not saying the odds are high that they will be, but legally they can be. But the civil suits should continue.
Yeah. No, that's what my fear is. That's what Kash Patel and all that's about, is rewriting history. I mean, they literally, we're going to prosecute the people that helped Joe Biden cheat in 2020. I mean, when Donald Trump is done, the history books will say Trump won in 2020, right? If he has his way. Right.
Depending on who writes the history books. Let's hope it's historians and not propagandists.
Yeah. That's an old-fashioned idea, historians writing history. You old-timer. All right.
That's adorable.
That's so cute. Oh, hi. I just finished, I'm going to say, an 11 billion mile bike ride. And thank God I happen to have this magic potion with me, ASEA, as seen on the Stephanie Miller Show. It helps my cells communicate better so that I can heal faster from overdoing because I'm lying about my age. I also use it on my face.